5 News at noon starts now.
Right now at noon, we're hearing from the family of a local child battling cancer. 5 News reporter Claire Eberbach will share their story. Plus, stress levels spike for many Americans during the holidays. Coming up, a local mental health expert shares why it happens and offers some tips to keep your season manageable. Thank you for joining us for your 5 News at noon. I'm Morgan Wrigley here with Joshua Weisel. Thanksgiving week, a lot of people on Thanksgiving break this week. Started off, got a rainy start out there.
Oh yeah, and it's been kind of just a cold and wet day across the area so far, and the bulk of the widespread rain, that's gone, but there is still a potential for maybe some scattered showers the rest of the day. We got some cooler temperatures as well, so let's take a look at that radar. There's that activity from this morning. It was widespread, right on schedule. The models actually had a pretty good handle on this activity. We were talking about a little bit of a break by the time we got to noon, and you can see we have this break. Now, notice off to the north and west, there is a little bit of shower activity near Tulsa. We're not expecting widespread rain the rest of the day, but throughout the remainder of the afternoon and the evening, we could have some scattered showers starting to develop. Now, it's already a little bit warmer this morning, or warmer at noon, compared to this morning, right around the upper 50s into the lower 60s out there. So it's nice and mild compared to what we saw the last week with some of those record high temperatures. It's starting to feel a little bit more seasonable. This is kind of the trend that we're going to see as we go forward. It's just without the rain as we head towards your Thanksgiving. Clouds are going to stick around throughout the remainder of today. We're also going to have a chance for some rain into the afternoon, but it's going to be a little bit scattered compared to this morning, which was widespread. So we'll have a latest forecast look here in just a little bit. I'll be talking about the rain chances for the remainder of the day. It's going to be a little bit chillier going forward, and look at that Thanksgiving Day forecast coming up.
Thank you, Joshua. And a heads up for drivers in Bentonville. East Central Avenue between South Main and Southeast F Street will be closed today. That will last until 6 Wednesday evening. Weather permitting, the city says workers will be dismantling a tower crane. And crews have now repaired a damaged 24-inch water line in Madison County. Huntsville Water Utilities says the break on Regional Water's main line caused low pressure for many customers on Sunday. The pipe was replaced, but some customers may still notice lower pressure until tanks fully recover. Now, separately, Madison County issued a boil order for several service areas, including the ones listed right there on your screen. The Water Facilities Board says anyone who lost pressure should boil water for drinking or cooking for 1 minute and toss any ice. It's not yet clear exactly if that boil order is related to that line break. Fort Smith police are investigating a reported aggravated robbery. Last night, police say they responded to a call on Rogers Avenue. They say they made an arrest, but the investigation is still ongoing and in its early stages. Authorities say a suspect in a Missouri shootout has ties to an Arkansas arson case. The McDonald County Sheriff's Office reports that Dylan Martinez shot and injured a reserve deputy on November 16th during a confrontation outside the deputy's home. According to the department, Martinez has a criminal history that includes charges of rape, robbery, and burglary. The Sheriff's Office also identifies him as a suspect in a vehicle arson case in Bentonville. They further note that earlier this month, Martinez was arrested in Arkansas with a stolen vehicle but was released with a criminal summons. Well, a Bentonville family is navigating something that no parent wants to hear. 4-year-old Nathan Acosta is battling leukemia after a recent diagnosis. 5 News reporter Claire Eberbach met with the Acosta family to share their story.
Nathan Acosta was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia on October 16th, something his family says came as a complete shock. Nathan's parents brought him to the hospital after unexplained bruising and bug bites on his body that wouldn't go away. And less than an hour later, the doctors flew him to Arkansas Children's in Little Rock, where he was treated for 8 days. Nathan is now undergoing chemotherapy at Arkansas Children's Northwest and Springdale, but even with everything he's going through, they say Nathan is still the same bright, loving 4-year-old who lights up any room he walks into. They describe him as funny, outgoing, and always excited to meet new people. He's also incredibly active, starting mountain biking at just 3 years old and diving into his love for jiu-jitsu. Through all of this, his family says they've learned just how quickly life can change and how important every moment is.
Life is very fragile, which you always hear people say life is fragile, and you hear all these stories as well, but until it actually happens to you or your family, that's when it really hits you and you do realize how fragile life really is, and to really take every moment you can to spend time with your family, spend time with your kids, your wife, just really time. Time is short, and we have to make the most of it and hug our kids.
Nathan's dad tells me that his cancer treatment will last about 2.5 years. Later at 4, we'll learn more about how the community can support the Acosta family. Claire Everbach, 5 News.
Thank you, Claire. Well, this week at the Salvation Army in Fort Smith, the organization's preparing for its annual Thanksgiving meal for the community. On average, the Fort Smith location feeds around 200 people a year, but this year they're expecting around 300 after recent higher demand for assistance. Captain Dakari Darby says more and more people are coming to the Salvation Army for the first time ever or for the first time in several years, and the reasons behind it vary.
Average person would think that it's the homeless on the street or somebody who's less fortunate than them. No, there's some middle class people who are just saying, look, I can't support this month. Is there any way you can help me? And we do.
The Salvation Army is looking for volunteers for its annual Thanksgiving dinner. You can call the facility directly if you want to sign up. Well, many Americans say the holiday season brings a noticeable spike in stress. A new national survey shows just how common those feelings are. A poll from the American Psychological Association shows 2 in 5 people feel added stress during the holiday season. Mental health expert Sage Small at the Guidance Center in Fort Smith says the rush of events, travel, and family gatherings can quickly pile up. She says to watch for warning signs like trouble sleeping, headaches, muscle tension, or feeling overwhelmed, and to reach out before those symptoms grow.
You're not burdening somebody, you're not putting your problems on there, you're reaching out. And that's the most important part, because we are not made to do life alone. Humans are made for connection. Humans are made to be in gatherings and loving relationships with each other. So we need each other's support.
Small says the next step is building healthier habits through the season, setting boundaries, taking breaks, getting outdoors, and choosing only the events that bring joy. She reminds us that self-care isn't selfish, it's what helps keep the holidays manageable. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, of course, a holiday tradition millions look forward to, and this year, Southside High School's Southern Belles are headed to New York to dance in the parade. It's been a tradition for the team since 2006. A group of seniors travel to the Big Apple to perform, as well as take in all the sights and sounds of the city. They received their invitation over the summer and have spent months preparing for the trip. The parade route stretches about 2.5 miles, with the team stopping at Herald Square for their performance.
It just gives me chills thinking that we're going all the way to New York to be on national television, which is just such an amazing opportunity that not many people will get.
The Belles are part of hundreds of dancers from across the country who are selected to perform as the part of the Spirit of America Dance Stars. U.S. and Ukrainian officials say they've made important progress over the weekend in talks to end the war with Russia. President Trump is pushing for his 28-point plan to end the war, but it includes concessions Ukraine is not yet willing to accept, such as ceding land to Russia. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky calls it a critical moment after a weekend of negotiations with the U.S. on steps to end Russia's war on his country.
It is crucial to support the principles on which Europe stands, that borders cannot be changed by force, that war criminals must not escape justice, and that the aggressor must pay fully for the war he started.
In comments Monday, Zelensky indicated territory remains a sticking point. The U.S. and Ukraine say they're working to update the administration's original draft 28-point peace plan. That proposal called for Ukraine to give up territory, cap the size of its military, and swear off NATO membership. Critics say it included many of Moscow's longstanding demands.
It is essentially the wish list of the Russians.
CBS News has learned the White House is discussing plans to possibly bring Ukraine's president to the U.S. this week. Secretary of State Marco Rubio will be privately meeting with President Trump today after reporting progress in those weekend talks.
We're working through making some changes, some adjustments, in the hopes of furthering narrowing the differences and getting closer to something that both Ukraine and obviously the United States are very comfortable with.
A joint statement released by the administration following the U.S.-Ukrainian meeting said they reaffirmed any future agreement must fully uphold Ukraine's sovereignty. As fighting continues, Russia's military released video claiming to show the capture of 3 new Ukrainian villages along the eastern front. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.